Low-key literati taking a break from shooting hoops, nothing on. Word is bond, holding in my palm, parasympathetic response. It's 1:37. Out on the courts, all alone, solo sport. Let's see what happens in this hollow kind of fort. Not as in sleepy HOLLOW, no. Well, I ask why, because I intuit what I do with this and just groove right into it. Nah, it ain't no troubled youth, it ain't no W. When I said the hollow truth, I'm referring to the hologram universe, the Maya Gaia hypothesis that maybe all of this, if I twist right, will the sunlight not be right in my face? This is why I haven't been using the phone camera, by the way. It's, really not the best look or what's best way to be. My fucking phone sucks, but whatever. My freestyle is my notch, so I'm gonna bring it up, drop my chops hot from top. You can wake me from a deep sleep and the whip shit will still run. Fire spitting's my native tongue in cheek. Turn the other mother blubber, cause that's what happens when a whale hits the sand. Everything becomes displaced. Man, that's just a matter of evolution finding its place back again. Anyone ever wonder why humanity and dolphins are so fucking close, not only in genetic structure and behavioral language, but also in pineal gland mating for sport and having violent sex? It's fucked up. Any kind of animal creature that engages in war, torture, kidnapping, and rape for sport is some kind of psychological technique, because that involves a certain kind of mindfulness. Even if that's turned towards the evil dark side, you still have to have a mindful awareness of what's out there and what's inside somebody else to be like, hey, this is where I could really do some damage and really hurt a whole nother tribe of beings. Take one of their females and give them a fucking reaming with like 20 of my fucking own. And if anyone's ever out there ever actually witnessed like dolphin dick rapes, it's fucking savage. It's brutal. It's awful. And it's a weird thing to think that a creature so close to us isn't entirely peaceful, because whenever the environmentalists and the eco-friendly harmony worshippers end up flipping shit quick at the lip, thinking that they're so far above everyone else, being so insipid and just genuflecting to the animals that are in some way close to us, that being, let's see, whales, dolphins, fucking chimps, and thinking that they must inherently be peaceful and wonderful. I mean, that's nothing more than the blunder of anthrocentric dunder, or fucking privileged thunder. In other words, bestowing some kind of godlike qualities upon anyone else in order that we can, or I beg your pardon, anything else, other creatures or things, especially when anthropomorphized, in order that we can feel ourselves to be past all that hidden evil disguise inside, that we're all still self-serving creatures. It's like a godlike complex of, okay, if we're similar to dolphins genetically, then, and they're intelligent, and they mate for sport, and they have a sense of love, and they mate for life, and they must not have strife or war. They must not, torture and collect off of their port and slave a whole class of their people. Okay, I don't know if they do that or not. I don't know if their hierarchy has all that much fucking social structure that need ends up becoming that intense, that greed ends up being what feeds it. I think that what commences with a lot of the civilized structure and capitalism isn't just the simple sake of greed. I think that's kind of the end product. I think ultimately need for control and need to balance that which is out of our whole, out of our world, is part of our natural role. ROLE. Everything is everything by me, mon ami, mon chéri. C'est la vie, such is life. We're no different than in ancient feudal times. And so when I end up busting out a blue rhyme, it's because I still feel like I'm looking at everything like it's still fucking $13.99. Like shit is still harsh out there. Pirates fucking rule the world. Yet I want to smile and get divine and party like it's 99, but that's the shape of my mind. It's ultimately a fucking distraction. All the entertainment, all the passion that I have for pop culture, I feel like that's just another way of pulling the fucking veil over my eyes so I don't have to see what's going on out there, It's like, oh, here, look. Get some glittery shit. Look at some girls. Keep on rocking in the free world, as Neil Young said. I mean, don't feel like Satan, but I am to them, so I try and forget about it any way that I can. And I think I'll end this in the words of that really awesome man. This is Loki Literati off the dome piece, alone in my league. Never got a tone for anything that I do. Shooting it in the breeze, that's my steez. Anything that comes off of me, social psychology, mixing with the social ontology, because when I dissect the inspection of humanity, I see it as a collective, something that not just chosen beasts and those who are successful and the greatest and those who are impoverished and the least, but I think of it as nodes that come off of you and me, coming out of everything. The great macroorganism, I think, changes every time we release something new off the page, off our minds, into the information age. Then it gets kept for all of time. Whenever anyone else hears it, becomes changed in some way. The vision ends up altering, like malapropism game, different decisions of taking those tangrams and rearranging them to make different solutions. I mean, ultimately, I guess what I'm doing is the same kind of clarity from confusion that sci-fi does with the pollution of where science is financed by defense, so that which they end up coming up with can't happen yet. Hence, there's so much fucking deep evil research from DARPA and other such places that end up borrowing from Heinlein time and again and saying, what can we do to use this against women and men? Fuck, I didn't mean to get off on MIU fucking conspiracy style business rant, but what can I say? You can follow any funny tale through the money trail, and I've been saying since forever the science is financed by defense. So you really need to close this because I can't stay on the fence about this, and I don't want to get too radical. I need to get back to the court. That's my regular solo sport. This started off talking about the hollow universe as the holographic vision that we're all in. If the matrix is truly fucking real, then everything that we slay off the page is just different layers, not just mental behavior inside of myself and different kinds of flavor when you meet me, but also different things that the beast can do to bleed into tracks, which means it ends up getting hidden within the human consciousness like meridian tracks. Dragon breath wakes up and I have fire spit that ends up slaking that. So when I take this sport up, it's just mental gladiatorship for the intellectual jungle. Never take a tumble. Hard to stay humble, but probably end up eating humble pie by the end of the day. I know I'll pop off some shit today that makes me stop and realize that I've gone too far. Dropping 1,000 bars, don't waste it when it gets hot. That's just my fucking way, though. If you don't like it, then for your mind, it wasn't made, and our worlds cannot meet. But if you can understand anything that I've rhymed off of this, then maybe you are on the road to being spiritually complete. Peace. Loki Literati.